one simple thing or single thing that you'll be trying to put your efforts to be consistent on. And today we'll be talking about how to show up even when you don't feel like, even when you're not feeling like showing up. We'll be going straight and talking about how to always show up and be consistent on that thing. Hey love, welcome back to today's video. Welcome back to the live stream. Thanks for joining again. I appreciate it. And if it's your first time coming across my channel, I love you. I got you here. And for my old subscribers, thanks for always finding your way back to come watch my new video and supporting me. And please don't forget to like this video. Subscribe if you wish and leave me a comment of what you think about this topic, or if you want me to do a topic or something to talk about something concerning a topic that you want or whatever, and share this video to your other socials so that other people can come and learn. And welcome back again, welcome back once again. So today we'll be going straight to talking about the art of showing up, the art of showing up, how to be consistent when motivations fades. I think I have a lot of videos about motivations, consistencies, how to continue going when the motivations fades. And if in case, pardon me because I repeat my intro over and over again. Why? Because sometimes the network might just cut the intro off, or it's YouTube. I don't really know why my intro most of the time are cut off. So I'll be saying it again in case if the intro was cut off. What is one thing you are trying to stay consistent with right now? What's that one simple thing that you'll be beating yourself up, struggling that why can't I just be consistent? And for 1 week I stay consistent for 1 week, and the other week I fall back. The other one, next week I stay consistent again, and the next week I fall back. Now you'll be beating yourself. There's no need of beating yourself. You have to understand that we as human, most of the time we are just like that prodigal child or prodigal son, that at least you find your way back home. At least you find and understand that yes, I've been consistent, I've been doing so well for 1 week, and now I just fell off. I've been eating bad, I'll be going back to my old routine. At least you understood that you've fallen off. And when you understand, try to get back to your feet again and restart from where you stop. Hi, thanks for joining, and restart from where you stop. That is the most important. The most important it is that you understand what happened, that yes, you've been consistent for the past 1 week and now you're falling off, and restart again and went back to what you were doing. It's the most important. Don't beat yourself up. As I've said, we will like those prodigal shared that sometimes life happens, things happen, we fall off and we go back to our old pattern. But if you are aware, have the ability to understand that yes, I've gone back to my old pattern, and try to bring yourself back and restart from where you stop. That is the most important. So instead of you to beat yourself up or regret or tell yourself that you can't be consistent, to watch this video, sit tight and watch this video so that you know how to restart and stop beating yourself up for not being consistent. We'll be going deep dive into the video. Stay tuned and watch this video to the end because it's really going to impact you. And thanks guys for joining. Why motivation is not enough? Sometimes we start our consistency, whatever we do with consistency or whatever we want to be consistent on, we start them with motivation. We start them because we are inspired by someone. We start them because we saw someone doing it and we feel like we can go do it. We're motivated. We're so motivated and inspired by something or someone. That is why we don't stay long, or we don't stay in that lane of consistency. We don't stay motivated long enough to do that thing that we're doing, because we started with motivation. We started because we are inspired by person. Now why does motivation fade off, and why is motivation now before going deep into this video? I know I've talked a lot about this video, but now I'm explaining it in a very different pattern and in a very different way. In case if you've not watched other of my videos, go watch them and come back and watch this. Or if this was the first one that you watch this and still go watch the other videos so that you can get a better understanding. Because why motivation is not enough is because motivation is and temporary things. Something that is temporary cannot stay forever. Something that is temporary can only stay for this moment, but at least you understand that it will last for this moment, but it's not going to last for a very long period of time. So when you start with motivation, understand that you starting something or doing something or starting your business or getting into a relationship because you were motivated or because at that particular time you were so in love, understand that it's a temporary thing, and it's as a temporary thing, it's not going to last long. And discipline keeps the momentum. So this is all why I always say that whatever you want to start, whenever you start something, try to start with discipline. I know sometimes we're inspired, especially starting your first business, putting your first business at the it's kind of start with motivation, or dating or getting into new relationship for a very long time with someone that you just see, and some people say first first sight, first love, I don't know how to say it, it's motivation. But when it comes to the, you need to understand, Alice, Ada, Vi, when it comes to this, you need to understand that it's not going to last, it's not going to stay for long because it's a temporary thing. And but when you start with discipline, I know sometimes we don't understand that way to start with discipline. We understand starting with motivation because it's kind of, we are in that spirit, we are feeling that vibe, let's just do it, let's do it. But when you start that way, it's not going to last. But when you start with discipline, or perhaps doing the both, when you're starting, like you're in that moment, you're in that spirit, you're feeling that spirit, you're inspired, start with the motivation and add the discipline to it. So how can you add the discipline to it? That's what we'll be going straight into right now. And when you start let me just say, when you start with the both discipline and the motivation, when the discipline fade away, when the motivation fades away, the discipline gives you that momentum to keep on going. The discipline gives you that momentum and that inspiration to keep on going because you already know what you're working towards. And consistency identity consistency identity is, stop waiting to feel ready, because when you're waiting to feel ready, it's going to weigh you down. It's going to take you a lot of time. Something that you were supposed to start last year and start your best to be consistent, but you're waiting that I'm not yet ready, I've not been motivated. Nah, you understand? I've not been motivated. You're waiting to be motivated by something or someone before you start. But when you start with discipline, you're not waiting to be motivated by someone. You're not waiting for someone to tell you that you can do it. You're not waiting for something to show up to say you have to do it. But when you want to start with motivation, that's when it comes that you're waiting to feel ready before you do it, because you're trying to look up for answers, you're trying to seek for answers, you're trying to get answers that you want to make you feel as if, yes, I'm ready, I can do it now. Start acting like the person you're becoming. Now you start acting like the person you're becoming without waiting to feel ready. Just start it right now with discipline. The motivation will always come. Even like when you start a business, excuse me for that. So when you start doing something with discipline, you don't wait to get ready, but when you continue doing it, you see the motivation will come, the discipline will come, because that motivation is just going to wave in and still going to wave out. So when the motivation wave in, you keep on grinding for the business, keep on going, you'll be doing everything that you're supposed to do. So always understand that when you start, even before you're ready, it's you starting with the discipline. So when you continue doing what you're doing, going, the motivations will wave in, the inspiration will wave in one way or the other. But always remember that motivation that waved in is not going to be forever. It's going to be a temporary thing. So when that motivation waves in and you're loving this business, you're loving this relationship, you're loving this new job, understand that it's going to go. And when it goes, you're still going to anchor and rely on the discipline that you started with. And discipline or momentum, discipline brings the momentum, and feelings comes and go. Commitment is the anchor. When you get into a new relationship, you get married to the love of your life, trust me, that motivation that you use, like you're so happy getting married, do whatever, discipline, you have to apply discipline, because this momentum of this motivation, is going to go, because motivation is like a feeling, it's a temporary thing, it's going to go. But when this motivation goes, what you anchor with or what you rely on when there's no longer this motivation or inspiration or feeling like the way you were feeling when you newly got into this relationship or started this business, you're going to anchor them with commitment. It's commitment. You're going to be committed even when you don't feel like, even when you're not feeling that vibe, even when you don't just want to talk to anybody, you're still going to be committed in this relationship. Why? Because of discipline, and you decided to be committed to things. So when you're committed to things and discipline gives you this momentum. No, when, sorry, the word, I misplaced the word. Did I misplace the word? Mislead? Whatever, let's continue. When discipline brings the momentum, it makes you to be committed on this thing that you're doing. So when the motivation is not there to drive for the business, to continue working in this place where you are so happy praying for this place to work, discipline brings that momentum. It makes you to be committed. It makes you to be committed even when you don't feel like doing it. Now, consistency, identity. I said it before. How to be consistent on your identity. I have two ways, and I said one is stop waiting to get to feel ready and start acting like the person you'll become. How do you start acting like the person you'll become? Is when you're trying to build muscles, you're doing your exercise, you're trying to improve on one part of your body, it might be your hips, your chest, six pack, whatever it is. It's not motivation. At first you might start with motivation, but you know where you're heading to, you know what you are, where you're going, you know the future that you're trying to bring to you. What do? You start working out, you start doing the proper workout, not just working out, the proper workout that will make you to improve on that particular part of you that you're trying to work on. You continue doing that exercise even when you don't feel like, even when the motivation is not there, but you're trying to become that person and build that discipline to build that thing that you're trying to get in your body or wanting to be. This, you're not ready yet, you don't feel like ready, but you're still doing it. At least you don't have the six pack yet, but you're working towards to get the six pack, because that is the goal, that is what you're working towards. And the next one is you go for a walk every day versus I try to be healthy. You go for a walk every day instead of having it in your head that I just want to try to be healthy. Instead of just repeating that word in your head, it's better just go have a walk, just go take the walk, just go do the thing that you're supposed to do, than just having it in your head that I'm trying to be healthy. Now let's go straight because our time is running off. Tiny habits, big results. The tiny habit that you can implement for you to be disciplined. I've always said this: when it comes to discipline, it's not about conquering the world, but conquering the world inside of you. It's not about doing everything, but doing the most important thing. It's not about trying to achieve every single thing in one particular day or in one particular minute, but trying to do the most important thing that you know that is important, and understand that yes, at least I did something today at the end of the day. Not multitasking, because when you trying to do everything, conquer the world at one day, that's when you start multitasking. When you start multitasking, at the end of the day, you can't even tell what you did, how productive you are, what did you really achieve today, are you proud of yourself. Now when you're trying to do something and be consistent, try in a very tiny way, in a very little way. As you improve, as you continue, you keep on improving. As you continue, you keep on improving. I'll always say that start with the 5 minute rule. Start with the 5 minute rule. For example, you have a business, you say, even when I'm tired, I don't feel like doing it today, let me go to my website, let me see something that I can do to improve my business. Let me just stay on my website for 5 minutes. Let me see if there's something I have to change, if there's something I have to improve on for me to grow my business. It might be relationship, it might be friendship. Let me just call this person or send this person a message. Just this 5 minutes rule. Okay, let me go to the gym and do just an 5 minutes exercise. Let me just go there, because trust me sweetheart, when you go there, definitely you see something to do. And when you start doing that 5 minutes rule, implementing that 5 minutes rule, you see that you that momentum is coming back. You're feeling that momentum, and you say, what, I said I was supposed to do 30 minutes, let me just push to 40 minutes, let me just push to 50 minutes, let me just push to 1 hour. So but you have to show up at first, because when you show up at first, the momentum comes. You start, that feeling will just, comes hard, and you say, let me just continue doing it because I'm already doing it, I'm already on it. But first of all, you have to show up and start doing it at first before the momentum will come. And the next one is habit stacking. Attach this habit to something that you're already used to. If for example you're trying to build some, so let me just use workout. Workout is the best example that I can use today. If for example in your workout or in your body you're trying to improve on one part of your body, and you already does workout every day, you go to the gym maybe 3 times or 4 times in a day, that is you attaching, that is you stacking this habit to something you already used to, something that you're already doing. Now you go to the gym 3 times in a day or 4 times in a day, and you're trying to improve one particular part of your body. I think so, Johnny. What you does is just like switch from the exercise that you'll be doing right now and start doing something that you know it's going to improve and makes this part of your body works at or brings the shape that you're looking for, attaching it to something that you're already used to. If your work is not very far from your house and you go to work every single day, you drive, it's better for you to just walk. If it's something, you wake up more earlier and walk to your working place. If your office is not that far from your house, it's you just stacking to be consistent on this thing, and you want to walk. Let me just say it. You're trying to take a walk every single day, and your working place is very close to your house, or the supermarket, or the park where you take your kids to. Instead of you're driving to that place and you be wanting to be consistent to always take a walk, sweetheart, just take a walk to that supermarket, take the kids there without driving. That's another way of you stacking this thing that you're trying to do to something that you're already doing to be consistent. And love will be wrapping up. Thank you so much. Yes, I love it. I me too. Like when I wore it, I was in love. I was in love with the earrings. I don't want to divert. I wanted to say something, but I don't want to divert from this topic. So let's just continue the topic. Now we'll be wrapping up this video by, let me tell you, your job is not to be perfect. Stop having the thought in your head that for me to be consistent, I have to be perfect. Understand that life happens, things might happen, you might fall apart, you go back to your old way, start being on your phone for 1 hour on social media, just scrolling. But what I will always say that it's important, be aware to catch yourself. Be always aware to catch yourself that right now I'm doing too much, right now I'm falling back to my old habits, and be that prodigal son to always bring yourself back to yourself and come back to your higher self and ask yourself, what is that thing that I've been doing that I've been making me to be consistent? Bring it back. This happened to everyone. For me, it happened for me in the sense of sometimes I limit it. Just like sometimes I feel like I'm addicted to TikTok, not TikTok, YouTube, because I post on TikTok, but I'm not on TikTok. I don't scroll on TikTok. But on YouTube, I feel like I'm addicted to YouTube because I just scroll looking for something. And what I'm really listening to is something motivational, something that's going to educate me. But I scroll, watch multiple videos on watching broadcasts, watch multiple videos on YouTube, watch makeup, watch multiple videos on things that I'm learning, something that I'm trying to learn. But I feel sometimes that it's too much. I feel sometimes that kind of makes me addicted, and sometimes I just scroll 30 minutes scrolling looking for something to watch, but I don't see, and I have to drop my phone. But the thing that is important is that I'm aware and I know where I'm going wrong, and I try to drop the phone and bring me back. So always understand that part and don't beat yourself back. And our journaling prompt for you today is, write down, what is one promise I will keep to myself this week. Ask yourself something very small. You don't have to start big. Ask yourself for the week that what is one simple thing that I want to keep. I want to be consistent with this week. Just ask yourself one promise. It might be promise that you don't have to break it. So whenever you're breaking this promise, remind yourself in your head that, like I said to myself, that this thing, I'm not going to break this promise this week. Just tell yourself, write it down, write it on your phone, write it in the mirror, write it everywhere that you see this promise. So whenever you see this, it reminds you and takes you back that this week I said I will be doing 3 minutes exercise. This week I said I will drink more water. This week I said I will be consistent on my video. This week I said I will spend just 30 minutes on my phone. And this week I said I will post a lot on my website, on my business. Whatever it is, write it and post it everywhere so that You know, your vision can see it and remind you of that promise. And now our affirmation before we finish this video is, I show up for myself even when it's hard. I show up for myself even on the hard days when you don't feel like. The second one is, consistency is my love language to my future self. Isn't that wonderful? Because your future self is going to thank you if you can be consistent on that dream, on that thing that you're trying to embark on, or that thing that you're trying to do. So consistency is my love language to my future self. I follow through because I am worth the effort. I follow through because I am worth the effort. Every small step I take builds the life I desire. Me coming to do my life every single day, it's a step that helps to build the life that I'm becoming, or the life that I want, or the life that I desire. So love, thanks for watching this video to the end, and thanks for joining me. Don't forget, your job is not to be perfect when it comes to being consistent on what you're doing. It's to return to the path over and over and over again. So thank you for joining me, and thanks for watching this video to the end. Leave me a red emoji if you watch this video to the end. I love you from the bottom of my heart. See you tomorrow again. Kisses. No.